Mom's birthday brunch started at 11. I arrived at 10:55 exactly on time, carrying the gift I'd spent 2 weeks choosing, a first edition book of poetry she'd mentioned loving as a teenager. $300. Worth every penny if it made her smile. The restaurant was one of those trendy places with exposed brick and 2 small tables. My sister Claire had chosen it, naturally. Everything had to be Instagram perfect for Claire. The aesthetic mattered more than the comfort. Julia. You made it. Claire air kissed me, her perfume overwhelming. I wasn't sure you'd come. I know brunches aren't really your thing. By thing, she meant I usually worked weekends. Had been working weekends for the past 7 years, building something real while everyone else was posting photos of their avocado toast. Wouldn't miss Mom's birthday. Inside, the family was already assembled. Mom at the head of the table, Dad beside her, Claire's husband Brandon, my brother Marcus and his fiancée Ashley. 8 of us total. The perfect family unit. Except I never quite fit the unit. I was the odd one. The one who hadn't followed the approved life path. Claire was a marketing director at a prestigious firm. Marcus was a corporate lawyer. Both had impressive degrees, impressive careers, impressive partners. I dropped out of business school 8 years ago to start my own company. That decision had never been forgiven. Julia, honey. Mom stood to hug me. You look comfortable. Comfortable. Her word for disappointing. I was wearing jeans and a nice blouse. Everyone else was in designer dresses and suits. Happy birthday, Mom. I handed her the gift. She opened it without much interest, the way she always opened my gifts. Like she was already prepared to be underwhelmed. Then she saw the book. Her face changed. Julia, this is the 1923 edition. I've looked for this for years. How did you? I have my sources. For a moment, just a moment, she looked at me with something like pride. Then Claire leaned over. What is it? A book, Mom said, carefully rewrapping it. Very thoughtful. Oh, books. That's sweet. Claire's tone made it clear books were several tiers below whatever she'd given. Mine's the diamond bracelet, by the way. From Tiffany's. Of course it was. We ordered Eggs Benedict, smoked salmon, champagne. The kind of brunch that cost $60 a plate and left you hungry 2 hours later. Conversation flowed around me as usual. Claire talked about her latest campaign. Marcus discussed a merger he was working on. Ashley showed off her engagement ring for the 5th time, and everyone cooed appropriately. Nobody asked me about my work. They never did. After the meal, after the cake, after the obligatory singing, Mom stood up. I have an announcement. Well, more of a plan. Today's not just my birthday, it's Family Portrait Day. Claire clapped. Yes. I've been planning this for weeks. We're going to Morrison Photography Studio right after this. They're the best in the city. This is going to be perfect for our holiday cards. I've already chosen our outfits, Mom continued, pulling out her phone to show photos. Navy and cream. Very classic. Very elegant. We'll look like we stepped out of a magazine. Everyone was excited, talking over each other about poses and arrangements and whether the lighting would show off Ashley's ring properly. I sat quietly, already knowing what was coming. Mom's eyes landed on me. Her smile faltered slightly. Julia, sweetheart, we need to talk about something. Here it was. The portraits today. I've thought about this a lot and I've decided you won't be in them. The table went silent. Not shock silent. Uncomfortable silent. Like everyone had known this was coming except me. What? I said quietly. It's not personal, honey. It's just, you don't really fit our image. The aesthetic we're going for. Navy and cream, polished, professional. And you're so casual. So different. It would throw off the whole composition. You're excluding me from family photos because of my clothes? It's not just the clothes. Mom's voice was gentle, which somehow made it worse. It's everything. Your lifestyle, your choices, your whole energy. We're trying to project a certain image as a family. Success. Unity. Traditional values. And you're just on a different path. A wrong path, you mean? I didn't say wrong. Just different. And different doesn't photograph well in a family portrait. Claire jumped in because of course she did. Jules, don't make this dramatic. It's just one photo session. You can be in pictures next year. Maybe. If you've adjusted some things. Adjusted what things? Your whole situation. The business you refuse to talk about. The apartment you live in alone. The fact that you're 32 and not married, not engaged, not even dating seriously. Mom's right, it doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative. The family narrative. The one we present to the world. You're the outlier, Jules. The data point that doesn't fit the trend line. She said it like it was a joke, but her eyes were serious. I looked at Marcus. He wouldn't meet my eyes. At Dad, who was suddenly very interested in his coffee. At Ashley, who looked sympathetic but said nothing. So I'm not in the family photos, I said slowly. Because I don't fit your brand. Don't say it like that, Mom said. It sounds so harsh. I'm trying to create beautiful memories. Beautiful images. Is that so wrong? Do the rest of you agree with this? Silence. Which was answer enough. Fine, I said, standing. Enjoy your photo session. I hope the images turn out exactly as perfect as you imagine. Julia, don't be like this, Claire said. You're always so sensitive about everything. I'm not being sensitive. I'm respecting your decision. Have a wonderful afternoon. I left money for my portion of the bill on the table and walked out. Behind me, I could hear Mom saying, "See? This is exactly what I mean. So dramatic. This is why we can't have her in the photos." I sat in my car for 5 minutes, hands on the steering wheel, breathing deeply. 7 years. 7 years of building something real, something successful, something I was genuinely proud of. And they still saw me as the failure. The disappointment. The one who didn't fit. Then I made a phone call. Daniel, it's Julia Anderson. Remember that conversation we had last month about Morrison Photography Studio? Daniel Morrison was 73 years old and ready to retire. He'd built his photography studio over 40 years, established it as the premier portrait studio in the city. Every important family, every significant event, everyone who wanted to capture moments that mattered, they went to Morrison Photography. We'd been in negotiations for 6 weeks. He wanted to sell. I wanted to buy. The numbers worked. We'd been planning to close the deal next month. Julia. Of course. What can I do for you? Can we close today? Right now. Today? That's very sudden. Is everything all right? Everything's fine. I just need this to happen now. My lawyer has all the papers ready. Your lawyer has them too. We can do an emergency closing. Get everyone on a video call. Sign digitally. I'll wire the funds immediately. Julia, it's Saturday. And it's my granddaughter's birthday party this afternoon. I'll pay an extra 100,000. 50 to you, 50 split among the lawyers for working on a Saturday. Deal. He laughed. You're serious. Completely serious. All right. You've got yourself a deal. Let me make some calls. 2 hours later, I owned Morrison Photography Studio. The whole thing. The building, the equipment, the name, the reputation, the bookings. Everything. Including the 2 o'clock appointment for the Anderson family portraits. I called the studio manager, Patricia. She'd been with Daniel for 20 years and had agreed to stay on after the sale. Patricia, this is Julia Anderson. The sale just went through. I'm officially the owner as of 10 minutes ago. Congratulations. Though I thought we weren't closing until next month. Change of plans. Listen, there's a booking today at 2. The Anderson family. That's my family. I need you to cancel it. Cancel? But they've already paid their deposit. And it's very short notice. I know. Refund the deposit, add $200 for the inconvenience and cancel the session. Tell them the new owner made the decision. The new owner. You mean you're canceling your own family's session? Yes. And Patricia? I'll be there at 2 o'clock. I want to handle this personally. Julia, are you sure about this? I've never been more sure of anything in my life. At 1:45, I pulled into the parking lot of Morrison Photography Studio. It was a beautiful building, converted Victorian house, purple exterior, white trim, flower boxes in every window. Daniel had maintained it immaculately. My family's car wasn't there yet. Good. I wanted to be inside when they arrived. Patricia met me at the door. She was 50, kind-faced and looking very concerned. Julia, I have to say this is highly unusual. Are you absolutely certain you want to do this? Did you cancel their session? Yes. And they called back 3 times asking why. Your mother was very upset. What did you tell them? Exactly what you said. That the new owner canceled it. I didn't mention that the new owner was you. Perfect. And the photographer who was supposed to do their session. Robert. Here. Very confused about why I canceled a booking last minute. Send him home. Paid for the full day. This is on me. Julia. Patricia, do you know why I bought this studio? Why I was willing to pay $3.2 million for a photography business? For the investment potential? Partly. But also because I saw Daniel's work. The way he captured families. Real families with all their complexity and imperfection. He made people look like themselves, just better. More honest. He saw people as they really were. He's a remarkable artist. And my family is about to walk in here expecting perfection. Expecting an image that isn't real. Expecting to create a fantasy where everyone fits their narrow definition of acceptable. And I'm going to deny them that. Not out of spite. Out of honesty. That sounds like spite. Maybe it's both. At 1:58 my family's car pulled up. Then a second car. They'd all come together, probably spent the afternoon coordinating outfits and practicing poses. I watched from inside as they got out. Mom in a cream dress. Dad in a navy suit. Claire and Brandon, Marcus and Ashley, all coordinated perfectly. They looked like they'd stepped out of a catalog. They walked up the path laughing about something. Mom checked her lipstick in a compact mirror. Claire adjusted Dad's tie. They were ready for their close-up. Patricia opened the door as they reached it. Welcome to Morrison Photography Studio, she said warmly. Thank you. Mom beamed. We're the Anderson family. 2 o'clock appointment. Yes, the Anderson family. We've been expecting you. Although I'm afraid there's been a change of plans. Mom's smile faltered. A change? But we confirmed yesterday. I know, and I apologize for the short notice. Miss Anderson called ahead. Miss Anderson? Mom looked confused. But I'm Miss Anderson. I didn't call. No, the other Miss Anderson. Julia Anderson. She owns the studio now. You could have heard a pin drop. What? Claire said. Julia owns what now? Morrison Photography Studio. The sale closed this morning. She's the new owner. And she instructed me to cancel your booking. That's impossible, Marcus said. Julia doesn't own a photography studio. She works in... What does she even do? She owns this photography studio, Patricia said calmly. Among other businesses, I believe. But this morning she purchased Morrison Photography for $3.2 million. The papers are filed. It's official. Mom had gone pale. $3.2 million. Yes, ma'am. It's a very prestigious studio, as you know. Many families wait months for an appointment here. Ms. Anderson moved quite quickly to acquire it. And she canceled our session? Dad found his voice finally. Why would she do that? She said you don't fit the image. That the composition would be off. That your energy doesn't align with the studio's vision. I almost felt bad watching Patricia deliver my own words back to them. Almost. Those are. Mom stopped. Realized those were her exact words from brunch. That's petty, Claire snapped. This is incredibly petty and childish, and I'm going to call Julia right now and... No need to call. I stepped out from the office where I'd been waiting. I'm right here. They all turned. Stared at me like I'd materialized from thin air. Hi family. Sorry about the session cancellation. Patricia was kind enough to refund your deposit, plus $200 for the inconvenience. I hope that covers your gas money. Julia, Mom said slowly. You bought this studio? This morning. Emergency closing. My lawyers were very efficient. But why? Why buy it? Because it's a solid investment. Excellent reputation, consistent bookings, prime location. Daniel Morrison built something really special here. I'm honored to continue his legacy. Why cancel our session? Because you don't fit the image I'm trying to project. Your energy is all wrong. 2. I pretended to search for the word. Traditional. Too conventional. This studio is going in a new direction. More authentic. More real. And your carefully curated perfection doesn't align with that vision. Claire's face was red. You spent over $3 million just to cancel our photo session? That's insane. I spent $3.2 million to acquire a profitable business. Canceling your session was just a bonus. Though I have to admit the timing worked out perfectly. This is because of what Mom said at brunch, Marcus said. About you not being in the photos. Is it? I thought it was just about aesthetic choices. Image management. Isn't that what you all care about? Julia, I'm your mother. How could you do this to me? On my birthday. How could I do this? Mom, you told me I don't fit your family. You excluded me from family portraits because I don't match your brand. But you're right, I don't fit. I never have. Not because I'm a failure, but because I'm on a different level entirely. A different level? Claire laughed bitterly. You mean you have money now? That's what this is about. Showing off. No. This is about showing you who I really am. Who I've been for 7 years while you all ignored me. I pulled out my phone. Pulled up my portfolio. I own 17 businesses. This photography studio is number 17. I have a commercial property management company that oversees 41 buildings. I have an investment firm that manages portfolios for 32 clients. I have a consulting company that works with small businesses on growth strategy. I have 3 restaurants, 2 coffee shops, and a bookstore. I kept scrolling. I have real estate holdings worth approximately $48 million. Liquid assets of another $27 million. Total net worth as of this morning before I bought this studio was about $82 million. The silence was absolute. That can't be true, Claire whispered. You're lying. I handed my phone to Patricia. Can you verify? Pull up the business licenses, the property deeds, whatever they need to see. Patricia took the phone. Started scrolling. Her eyes got wider. My God, Julia. I knew you were successful, but this is extraordinary. Show them. She turned the phone toward my family. Showed them proof after proof. Company registration documents. Property deeds with my name. Bank statements. Tax returns. Everything that proved I wasn't lying. But you dress like. Mom couldn't finish the sentence. Like someone who doesn't need to prove anything. I dress comfortably. I drive a reliable car. I live in a modest apartment. Because I don't need designer clothes or fancy cars or a mansion to validate my worth. Why didn't you tell us? Dad asked. I tried. 7 years ago when I started my first company. Remember? I invited you all to dinner. Wanted to share my business plan. You all said I was being silly. That I should go back to business school. That I was throwing my life away. So I stopped sharing. But we thought you were struggling. Mom said. You never corrected us. You never asked. Not once in 7 years did any of you ask how my business was going. You just assumed I was failing. And you know what? It was easier to let you think that. Easier than constantly defending my choices. Easier than fighting for your approval. So you've been lying to us for 7 years, Marcus said. Pretending to be poor. I never pretended anything. You all made assumptions. I just didn't correct them. Ashley, who'd been silent this whole time, spoke up. I think that's actually kind of brilliant. You didn't owe them your success story. They didn't support you, so why would you share it? Marcus glared at her. Whose side are you on? The truth side. Julia's family treated her like a failure. She wasn't. That's the truth. This is insane, Claire said. She was pacing now, her perfect composure cracking. You bought a photography studio just to humiliate us? Just to prove a point. I bought a photography studio because it's a good investment. Daniel Morrison was ready to retire. The opportunity was there. I took it. The fact that you happened to have a booking here on the same day was pure coincidence. Coincidence? Claire laughed harshly. You expect us to believe that? Believe what you want. But Claire, quick question. Where do you take your clients for important dinners? What does that have to do with anything? Just answer. Usually Bellissimo. It's the best Italian restaurant downtown. Why? I own it. Have for 3 years. Her face went white. And Marcus, your law firm. Where's it located? The Riverside Tower. Why? I own the building. Your firm pays me rent every month. You're lying. I pulled out my phone again. Showed him the property deed. Bought it 5 years ago. 43 floors. Your firm is on the 18th. You've been paying me approximately $68,000 a month in rent for the past 3 years since you moved in. He stared at the document like it might change if he looked long enough. I don't understand, Mom said weakly. How did you do all this? How did we not know? You didn't know because you didn't look. You were so convinced I was a failure that you never questioned it. Never investigated. Never asked. You just accepted your narrative and moved on. But why reveal it now? Dad asked. Why not just keep letting us think what we thought? Because this morning my mother told me I don't fit the family image. She excluded me from family portraits because I'm an embarrassment. And I realized something. I don't want to fit your image. Your image is fake. It's performance. It's curated nonsense designed to impress people who don't matter. I looked at each of them. I built something real. Something I'm proud of. And I did it while you all ignored me, dismissed me, and treated me like a cautionary tale. So yes, I bought this photography studio. Yes, I canceled your session. And yes, I'm revealing all of this now. Not to humiliate you, but to make you see me. Finally. Actually see me. We see you, Mom whispered. We see you now. Do you? Or do you just see my bank account? That's not fair, Julia, Claire said. You've been hiding all this from us. You've been lying by omission. And now you're acting like we're the villains. You excluded me from family photos, Claire. On what planet is that not villain behavior? It was just one photo session. No, it wasn't. It was 7 years of dismissal. 7 years of judgment. 7 years of being treated like I don't matter. The photo session was just the final straw. Patricia cleared her throat. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we do have another session at 3:30. I need to prepare. Of course. I turned to my family. You should go. Your deposit refund has been processed. Check your email. Julia, wait, Mom said. We need to talk about this. Really talk. Not here, not like this, but somewhere private. Please. Why? So you can tell me how hurt you are? How betrayed you feel? Save it. You don't get to be the victims here. We're your family. Are you? Because family supports each other. Family asks questions. Family shows up. You did none of those things. Can we at least try? Dad asked. Can we try to fix this? I studied them. My family. Looking shell-shocked and confused, and for the first time in 7 years actually seeing me as something other than a disappointment. Maybe, I said finally. But not today. Today I have a business to run. Patricia, can you show them out? Of course, Miss Anderson. As they filed toward the door, Claire stopped. Turn back. Julia? For what it's worth. I'm sorry. About the photos. About all of it. Are you sorry I was excluded? Or sorry you found out I'm successful? She flinched. Both maybe. I don't know. I need to think about this. Then think about it. You've got time. I'm not going anywhere. They left. I watched through the window as they got into their cars, probably about to have intense conversations about what just happened. Patricia appeared beside me. That was quite dramatic. Was it too much? Honestly, I think it was exactly what they needed. They've been taking you for granted. You showed them there are consequences for that. Do you think I was wrong? To buy the studio specifically to cancel their session. She laughed. Wrong? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. And honestly, if I had $3 million lying around and someone hurt me like that, I'd probably do the same thing. It was 3.2 million. Even better. The specificity makes it more impressive. My phone buzzed. A text from Claire. Can we meet for coffee? Just you and me? I want to understand. Really understand. Please. Then Marcus. I'm sorry, Julia. I should have asked about your work. Should have been curious instead of dismissive. Can we talk? Then Mom. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. For everything. For not seeing you. For not celebrating you. For making you feel like you had to hide. Please let me make this right. I didn't respond to any of them. Not yet. They needed to sit with this. Needed to really think about what they'd done and who they'd been. Patricia brought me a coffee. The next family is here early. Should I start setting up? Yes, please. And Patricia? I want to change our approach. Daniel was brilliant at capturing perfect families. I want us to capture real families. The messy ones. The complicated ones. The ones that don't fit the traditional mold. Can we do that? She smiled. I think that's exactly what this studio needs. A new vision. An honest vision. Good. Let's get started. 3 days later, I agreed to meet my mother for coffee. Just her. No dad, no siblings, no audience. Just two women trying to figure out if a relationship could be salvaged. She was already there when I arrived, sitting at a corner table looking older than I remembered. Tired. "Thank you for coming," she said as I sat down. "I'm here. That doesn't mean I've forgiven anything." "I know. Julia, I've spent the past 3 days thinking about everything. About how I treated you. About what I said at brunch. About the photos. And I'm ashamed. Deeply, truly ashamed. I excluded my own daughter from family photos because she didn't match my vision of what a family should look like. That's unforgivable." "It is. But I'm asking you to forgive me anyway. Not because I deserve it, but because I want to be better. I want to be the mother you deserved all along." I sipped my coffee. Why no? Is it because you found out I'm successful? Because I have money? No. I mean, yes, I was shocked about the money. Shocked and impressed and honestly a little terrified of how much I underestimated you. But that's not why I want to change. I want to change because I finally see what I've been doing. I've been trying to control the narrative instead of celebrating the reality. And the reality is you're extraordinary. With or without the money. You didn't think I was extraordinary 3 days ago. I was wrong 3 days ago. I was wrong for 7 years. I was so focused on my vision of success that I couldn't see the actual success you were building. Mom, I bought that studio specifically to cancel your photo session. I spent $3.2 million on revenge. Does that seem like something an extraordinary person does?" She laughed. Actual laughter which I wasn't expecting. Honestly, sounds exactly like something an extraordinary person would do. It's bold. It's dramatic. It's effective. You made your point in a way none of us will ever forget. It was petty. It was powerful. There's a difference. I set down my coffee cup. I'm not ready to fix this. Not yet. You hurt me. For years. You made me feel invisible and inadequate. That doesn't heal because you suddenly realize I'm worth $82 million. I know. But I'm willing to try. Fully. Carefully. With clear boundaries. I'll take it. Any chance is more than I deserve. We talked for 2 hours. About her expectations and my reality. About the pressure she felt to present a perfect family and the damage that pressure caused. About my businesses and why I'd kept them secret. About trust and how to rebuild it. It wasn't healing. Not yet. But it was honest. And honest was a start. 6 months later, I was at Morrison Photography Studio reviewing bookings with Patricia when my phone rang. "Hi, sweetheart. I have a question and I want you to feel absolutely free to say no." "Okay. It's Dad's birthday next month. We're planning a small dinner. Just immediate family. And I was wondering if you'd be willing to come. And if you'd be willing to schedule a family photo session afterward. At your studio." "A photo session?" "Yes. A real one. All of us. Including you. Especially you. I want to capture who we really are. Not some curated image. Not some fake perfection. Just us. The Anderson family. Messy and complicated and trying to do better." I thought about it. Thought about the past 6 months of slow, careful rebuilding. Of coffee dates with Mom. Of lunches with Claire where we actually talked about real things. Of Marcus asking about my businesses and seeming genuinely interested. What if I say yes but on my terms? Name them. Casual clothes. No matching outfits. No color schemes. No poses that look like they're from a catalog. We wear what we actually wear. We stand how we actually stand. We're honest in the photos. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. And one more thing. I choose the photographer. Of course. It's your studio. I'm going to choose Daniel Morrison. He came out of retirement last month. I hired him back part-time. He takes photos twice a week now. Just sessions he finds interesting. Just families he wants to capture. And he'll find us interesting? I'll make sure of it. I'll tell him we're a family learning how to be honest with each other. Learning how to see each other clearly. He'll love that story. Then we have a deal. Thank you, Julia. For giving us another chance. For being patient with us. For being better than we deserve. I'm not doing it for you, Mom. I'm doing it for me. Because I want a family. A real one. And I think maybe we can build that. If everyone actually tries. We'll try. I promise we'll try. The photo session happened on a Saturday afternoon. Everyone showed up in jeans and comfortable shirts. No navy and cream. No curated perfection. Just people being people. Daniel Morrison photographed us for 2 hours. He captured Claire laughing at something Marcus said. Dad hugging Mom while she rolled her eyes affectionately. Me sitting on the floor with Ashley, both of us looking at something on her phone. He captured us as we were. Imperfect. Real. Human. At the end he pulled me aside. Julia, these are good people. Complicated but good. They love you. You know that, right? I'm starting to. And they're trying. That counts for something. It does. It counts for a lot, actually. The final photo he took was of all of us together. Not posed. Not arranged. Just standing close, some of us talking, some of us laughing, some of us just being present. When I saw the final print 2 weeks later, I cried. Because it wasn't the perfect family photo my mother had wanted at her birthday. It was something better. It was real. It was us. And for the first time in 7 years I was actually in it. Not because I fit their image. But because they'd finally learned to see mine. Mom hung that photo in her living room. Replaced all the curated perfect images with this one honest one. And every time I visited I'd see it there. Evidence that sometimes families break. And sometimes with work and honesty and a willingness to see each other clearly they heal. Not perfectly. But really. And real was always better than perfect. Even if it took $82 million and a photography studio to prove it.